Welcome everyone. So today we're going to talk about IUI Athletics 2024 and beyond. So I'm just going to hand it straight off to our research team to get things started.
So Grant, a current student on campus coming to orientation, describes that the campus seems very inviting and likes being in the city. Grant comes to find out during orientation that the athletic program does not seem very important here, which is something he is disappointed about considering he loves attending sporting events. He described that his orientation leader talked about how they could find and purchase IU Bloomington tickets, but did not mention IUPUI tickets. Grant further decided that IUPUI was his best option for education and hoped that the athletic program was better than it was described to him. Grant realized walking around on campus his first few days that he did not notice a whole lot about athletics. He didn't see very many signs anywhere, and he had a hard time finding any programs. Grant decided he went to the campus center and asked someone in the campus center where he could find info about athletics, which they told him he could look online. Grant decided he was going to go to his first IUPUI basketball game with his roommate and was excited to feel the enthusiasm and the buzz that surrounds the arena, only to be confronted with an experience that Grant described as disappointing. First, as he was heading to the arena, he realized that the game was in the fairgrounds, which was not appealing to him. And when he got to the arena for the first time, he stepped in and noticed Indy Fuel signs everywhere and Indy Fuel gear everywhere. He noticed one sign that stated IUPUI students here, and him and his roommate eventually found their way into the arena and had hoped for a student section to be able to sit in. Come to find out that the student section was just one row of students sitting courtside, which did not look fun to them. They decided to sit about halfway up the first row, and Grant stated that it felt very empty in the arena with about only a fourth of the seats filled, and stated that he had higher hopes for a Division I basketball game.
What we are here to talk about today is what the future of IUI can look like for students in 2027. Let me tell you a story about that student. Josh is a new student at IUI who's excited to begin his journey. While walking through campus, Josh begins to develop an understanding of how important athletics is here at IUI. As he walks through campus, he sees signs and billboards plastered all over campus supporting and showing off our athletics and their schedules. As he walks through the campus center one day, he notices a group of athletes hanging out and socializing with a group of students. Someone then approaches him and asks them if he is interested in our athletics here at IUI. Josh loves basketball, so of course he replies yes. Josh is then informed of tonight's home basketball game, where George Hill will be signing autographs and delivering a speech at halftime. Josh is overjoyed to learn this and immediately runs over to his new classmates to tell them about it, with whom he plans to attend the game. Josh and his friends are ecstatic to attend the game because they have learned of how engaging and exciting our games are here at IUI. As Josh and his friends began to go down to the arena, they noticed swarms of students rushing down campus rows to get to the new arena. Josh and his friends did not anticipate there being this much crowd, so they too began rushing over to the arena in hopes of finding a good seat. Once they get inside, they see the IUI student section sign and rush over. As they get inside, the lights dim and the opening ceremonies begin, and all you can hear is Serious by Alan Parsons Project blasting over the speakers and rocking out the stands. The game begins, and Josh and his friends notice how devoted and into the game the fans are with every shot, steal, and block. The game ends with IUI taking the win, and fans and students swarm the court to celebrate a win. Josh compares his experience to an NBA game and is looking forward to more games in the future.
So starting off with the research methodology, we interviewed a total of 41 different people, and our entire class went and visited various men's and women's basketball games. So we took a human-centered approach, which is also known as design thinking, which is a very empathetic and iterative problem-solving approach, which takes into perspective the needs and experiences of humans to come up with innovative and empathetic solutions. So we started out by framing the problem, which is understanding what the problem was, which is low attendance and low fan engagement at games. Then we moved on into identifying our stakeholders, so who has the most vested interest in our games, like our students, faculty, alumni, and local community. So then we moved into defining the core problem, which is why there was low attendance at games. It could be scheduling conflict, unengaging fan activities, and basically general unawareness of our games taking place on campus. From then we moved on into reframing the problem, which comes into getting a really good action statement, which focuses on our stakeholders' needs and perspectives.
So next is our observation research. Through our observation research at men's and women's basketball games, we found 2 areas for improvement: student engagement and visual presence. The limitation of these 2 led to some frustration from our stakeholders. We found opportunity for improvement for visual presence regarding team apparel, banners, signage, and parking guidance. And for student engagement, we found opportunity for improvement regarding student section presence, mascot presence, pregame rituals, and student-led band. Next one for me. In addition to observation research, like Mark said, we interviewed students, staff, and faculty, and members of the community and alumni in order to gain valuable insight to the current state of IUPUI athletics and areas of improvement. During our interviews with these stakeholders, we discovered that the majority of these stakeholders are concerned with the current state of IUPUI athletics. In response, to describe one word that we're given to describe IUPUI athletics, we're given words such as underwhelming and unimportant. Our stakeholders are eager for IUPUI to establish itself as a competitive and respectable program. They are ready to rally, and they are also ready to rally and support behind our teams. Unfortunately, based on records past couple of seasons, there's a preconceived notion that we won't be as competitive as that we hoped. Unfortunately, this preconceived notion has resulted in supporters to bypass events and prioritize other activities.
So through our research, we found that there are 4 groups that the students we will be designing for can be segmented into. They are residential engaged, which are students on campus who are engaged with campus. Residential unengaged, who are the students who are on campus that are not engaged with campus. The commuter engaged, who are students living on campus but are still engaged with campus. And then the commuter unengaged, who are students living off campus that are not engaged with campus. And these are the 4 personas that we see fit for each segment. So for residential engaged, these are students who want a community on campus, but they need attraction to get the extra other people in. But their pain point is the engagement levels on campus. And their benefit to athletics is they have a high attendance and high engagement levels. For the residential unengaged, these are students who want to get in and out of class fast so they can get back to their dorm. They need a reason to want to engage and be involved with campus. But their pain point is pride and motivation. And their benefit to athletics is this is the opportunity to get the other students on campus involved, and they have the most opportunity to get engaged because they are on campus. For the commuter engaged, these are students who want a connection to campus, and they need campus engagement to have that. But their pain point is they live off campus, and their benefit to athletics is this could be the reason for them to stay on campus. And then for commuter unengaged, these are students who want to get home quick so they can get out of class. They need a way to want to stay on campus, but the level of its student engagement is a pain point. And their benefit to athletics is the athletics could be the reason to get them to stay and involved with campus.
So as you can see on our chart, IUPUI has the second lowest athletic budget when it comes to the Horizon League. This has its own drawbacks with limited athlete visibility, limited scholarship opportunities for our athletes to help retain them. Might be difficult when it comes to recruiting and even retaining top coaching talent. Another drawback is also with our smaller budget, it finds it difficult to upkeep our maintenance on our facilities. Moving on to our next slide, we have a further breakdown of our SWOT analysis, which we have our strengths, which is mainly our location. We're located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis with access to state-of-the-art facilities, top recruiting talent, and local community that we can engage in. Another one of our strengths is our conference. We're a part of the Horizon League, which offers stiff competition and gives us a chance to get our name out there and foster other regional rivalries. Moving on to our weaknesses is our fan support and budget. We do have limited fan support at our games, low fan engagement, and our budget offers a disadvantage as we have a much smaller budget compared to our competitors. Moving on to our opportunities is our rebranding. So the opportunity of us moving from IUPUI to IUI gives us a chance to refresh the athletics face and our image, revitalize, and have new set of goals that we want to achieve. And the Riverwalk downtown offers a unique facility or venue where we can go for competitions, races, attract more spectators and fans to athletic activities on campus. So our threats are competition from our other schools with larger budgets, as I mentioned earlier, and are shifting priorities as we're transitioning from IUPUI to IUI. They might not have a lot of emphasis on IUI's new athletics program.
So through our observations, SWOT analysis, and interviews, we discovered 6 problems that we hope to solve for. Number 1 being, how might we elevate IUI to be Indy's hometown team? When you think of sports in Indianapolis, you might think of Pacers, Colts, Indy 500, and Indianapolis Indians. Fair. But when you think of athletics in Indianapolis, some may mention Butler due to its recent success in men's basketball. Some may even mention University of Indianapolis. But the disparity between Indianapolis and IUPUI is incredibly shocking. Being just inside of Lucas Oil Stadium and 5 minutes away from Gainbridge Fieldhouse, we are still overshadowed. Well, why is that the case? We are located in the heart of downtown, prime Indianapolis. This led us to ask, how might we elevate IUI to be Indy's hometown team?
Number 2, how might we turn game day into the can't miss party on campus? Imagine yourself a current student. The big game is today, and the buzz around campus is through the roof. The IUI community is full of excitement and pride, from students and faculty to alumni. You can't concentrate because it's the only thing you can think about. However, you take a moment and think to yourself, where can I channel all my energy and excitement before the game? We found that students want a sense of belonging and something to latch on to. This led us to ask, how might we turn game day into the can't miss party on campus?
Number 3, how might we make home games a priority on campus? There seems to be a disconnect between students and faculty and the athletic departments in regards to awareness surrounding home events. Many of our students and staff mentioned that they did not know about dates and times of games. In addition, many felt like there could be room for improvement for actual game day advertising on campus. For the program to be successful, we all have to be on the same page. Everyone must be in conjunction. College athletics is unique due to support of the community and the support from its students. The atmosphere at a game when the student section is rocking and the atmosphere is electric is nothing short of amazing. We need to prioritize finding a way to get students into seats. This led us to ask, how might we make home games a priority on campus?
Number 4, how might we use game day to anchor students on campus? Sports has the ability to bring out a passionate side that we've never discovered. College game day is one of the most exciting experiences a student can have. And IUI students should be fortunate to be able to experience it. However, due to IUPUI being a heavily commuter school, most students have departed campus after class, usually around 4 p.m. With a 7 p.m. tip-off at Farmers Coliseum, this is not favorable to those students who are not willing to stick around due to being commuter students for 3 to 4 hours of waiting to attend the game. This led us to ask, how might we use game day to anchor students on campus?
Number 6, how might we foster a connection between campus and athletes so that you feel like you know them? From the student experience, we might have class with athletes, but you might not ever know that there are athletes just because due to little student engagement and visual representation of campus, student athletes around campus, you might not have no idea unless unless a peer student or a professor mentions it. This led us to ask, how might we foster a connection between campus athletes so you feel that you know them?
Our final one, number 6, how might we use athletics to ignite spirit and pride at IUI? Athletics are typically one of the most effective ways to ignite a college campus. During the NCAA tournament, we see fans from all over the country representing their school in airports, concerts, and social gatherings. There's no shortage of school pride during the March Madness. However, walking around IUPUI campus, you see minimal students and faculty wearing team apparel and a lack of visual presence surrounding. There's no connection between students and student athletes. There's a lack of buzz around campus. Therefore, we asked, how might we use athletics to ignite spirit and pride at IUI?
So as we further go into our research methodology, we created a very comprehensive and detailed list of 170 different schools all across the US. We took into account their athletic programs and their attendance records. So what we did was we compared them to IUPUI, and we took schools which have state-of-the-art facilities that were created in the last 10 years and coupled them with their impressive attendance records in terms of their capacity. So this serves as an inspirational model for what IUPUI should set their attendance benchmark to and the goals that we're trying to achieve in terms of our attendance. So as you see, our current average at all our games are 696, and our peer institutions, the ones that we're trying to reach at, is around 1,800, average around 1,800 a games. We can do this by kind of marketing ourselves more out there, getting on going onto different social media platforms, advertising ourselves, and going around on billboards, passing out flyers on campus, anything that brings us more visibility towards our athletic department. We can do this by also engaging in local community, working with schools and different charities, and engaging with local businesses off campus. We can also do this by offering like attractive ticket packages to people who aren't students, so kind of make it exciting for them to come to our games by offering them different season ticket packages, and so on.
So through that research, we have identified 4 college basketball arenas from the peer level institutions that we believe that have been built in the last decade that we believe IUI can take inspiration from when designing and implementing a plan for a new stadium. Each has many uses or services on the campus or community. Each has different operation and management levels. Each athletics is a primary tenant at each arena, and the seating capacities are between 4,500 to 7,500.
First, we have University of Nebraska, Omaha. Baxter Arena has provided fans and students a more intimate and convenient location to attend sporting events. It generates revenue for UNO athletics, and it is multi-purpose venue used for a variety of events such as concerts, commencements, and much more.
Grand Canyon University has GCU Arena, which is a multi-purpose venue used for GCU's men's and women's basketball as well as women's volleyball, and is used for a variety of other events such as speaking engagements, commencement, concerts, and more.
University of Maryland, Baltimore County has Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena, which hosts all of UMBC's athletic events, including men's and women's basketball and women's volleyball. It also provides a venue for a variety of events such as concerts, commencements, graduations, and much more.
The newly constructed Georgia State Convocation Center is a multifunctional venue that is used for athletic events, large conferences, and e-sport competitions, and also has academic and support spaces as well. Through all of this research, we have come up with creative solutions that we believe can help elevate IUI athletics to the next level. Now the creative team will be taking over to tell you our recommendation of how IUI athletics should proceed in the future.
All right, so taking in all of the information and research, this is going to lead us into the stadium design. We are looking for our stadium to be located in the green space between Ohio Street and Wabash Street. This is an ideal place to put our stadium because it is the focal point of campus that many students are going to walk by every day. It's also geographically where we placed it, a good place to connect campus to the city of Indianapolis. Also with the new Riverwalk development being built downtown along the White River, this is a good opportunity to build the stadium in close proximity of this new development. Our stadium is going to be adjacent to the Riverwalk experience, so it's a great way to attract people to that area and build up the future of downtown as well. Our arena is going to face campus and the city to not only attract students, but also members of the community as well. Our stadium is going to have 2 entrances, so we're going to have one right here by the outdoor plaza for those students to enter after they are done with their pregame activities, and the other entrance right here is going to be considered the city entrance for members of the community to enter the arena. Regarding the stadium capacity, we have a stadium capacity of 4,800. We believe, based on the information pulled from our peer schools, that this is a good starting number based on the attendance numbers that we would bring in. Now, diving deeper into the usage of our stadium. So our stadium is going to be used 200 nights out of the year on event days, and will also be used for our varsity teams to practice during the week as well. So we're going to be hosting a variety of varsity sports, student activities, campus events, and other events. So not only will our stadium host our varsity men's and women's basketball teams and our women's volleyball teams, we are also looking to host student activities like rec sports, campus events such as Welcome Week, graduation ceremonies, and campus tours. And our stadium can also host a variety of other events like concerts, NCAA and Horizon League tournaments, conventions and conferences, and esports competitions.
To make this multi-purpose arena feel like home to IUI, we have created a collage wall displayed as Wall of Fame. Jaguar paw prints will take you on a walk down history while showing you the biggest moments of IUPUI as well as IUI in the future. Moments that will be on this wall include the mascot change from the Metros to the Jaguars, the 2022 WNBA draft when our very own Macy Williams got drafted by the Phoenix Mercury, and IUPUI becoming IUI. Stepping outside of the arena, located on the west side will be the outdoor plaza. The outdoor plaza will include food trucks, an outdoor space, lawn area with the stage, variety of seating, as well as a video board. Now, imagine being able to get your favorite street food before the biggest game of the year. Our plaza will have food trucks that will provide you with a variety of different choices to choose from. And after you are done with enjoying the amazing food, you can make your way to the lawn area and you can enjoy outdoor games such as cornhole or life-size Jenga with your friends, family, and other peers while listening to the band that will be on stage. Now, on chillier days, you might be worried, but around the plaza will be the outdoor heaters, and there is also going to be fire pits over there that will keep you warm so you can enjoy the amenities when it is chillier outside. What other way to display information than a video board? The video board will be located on top of the arena, facing the plaza so everyone can view it. It will display information such as starting lineups, meet the players, potential sponsors, and much more. To the left of the entrance is the Jaguar statue, which is currently in the courtyard at Tower Dorms. We will move the Jaguar statue to the plaza, and the plaza will become its new home. And now through these doors, we'll lead you to a place where students can go, have fun, meet new people, and just enjoy the college life.
So our outdoor plaza is going to lead students directly into our new student lounge. We would ideally like this student lounge to be a place for students and student athletes to interact, connect, and hang out with each other. So our student lounge is going to have several amenities such as TVs, a scan-and-go food station, and game tables. We would like the outdoor plaza and the student lounge to be the main sources of entertainment on game days. And after receiving confirmation with the Horizon League, we recommend starting some of our games a little bit earlier, around 5 p.m. This would give students a reason to stay on campus and enjoy these new festivities that we have created. It would also help turn IUI game days into the Can't Miss Party on campus and would help utilize anchoring students to stay on campus as well.
So I'm going to reference back to our current and our future students, Grant and Josh. Up here, the image on the left, this is what Grant currently sees. Right now, IUPUI has a courtside student section, as we mentioned before, but through our observations, we've noticed that they've only allocated between 50 and 60 seats for their students. The image on the right here is what Josh will be seeing. This is the Grand Canyon University Havocs. As we mentioned before, Grand Canyon University has a new arena that seats 7,000 people, but 4,000 of those seats are allocated for their students. And in 2023 alone, they sold out every single home game. So obviously there's a problem. So how many times have you been to a basketball game and you've noticed more than 50 to 60 students in attendance? Probably not that many. Students do not have a connection to IUPUI athletics currently, and an unengaging and honestly non-existent student section does not help. With this led us to ask, how might we reignite pride and spirit and culture at IUI? We wanted to reimagine the term student section. It's going to be more than just a block of students. It's going to be students that go out and do student engagements through storytelling on social media and building more connections with other students outside of the game setting. And this also is all powered by engaged learning. IUPUI has built the national reputation of being leaders in engaged learning. Students can bring their passions to help raise awareness and help foster these relationships between students and athletics. These things are going to be done through storytelling by our sports journalism students, our Heritage School of Art students, the computer graphics students. And then we have game operations done by sports management and event management students. We have analytics done by data science and sports data analytics students. And then finally, in terms of in-game participations, this can be something done by any student from any school on campus. And what if I told you we can get all that in just 5 steps? And before I get into those 5 steps, we're going to get a little bit of background information on that. We worked with a professional student section consulting agency based out of Phoenix, Arizona, called The Biggest Fan XP. The Biggest Fan was created by Grand Canyon University students that wanted to reimagine their student section on campus. This led to them creating one of the most well-known student sections in the country, the GCU Havocs. And as I mentioned before, they have 4,000 seats allocated for their students, which have sold out the entire 2023 season, as well as they also sold out 2022 season as well. To put that also in perspective, if they had 16 home games that season, that's 68,000 students in attendance. So obviously they're doing something right. And what if we took what they did there and implement it here? So I will begin by going through those steps. The first step is student leaders. Student leaders is going to be the stem of everything coming forward. Student leaders are going to be your most passionate and prideful students on campus. These people can be found by either interview processes or by looking at your students that already consistently and regularly attend your games and are actively engaging. Number 2 is going to be marketing. Once you have found your student leaders, they need to go out and engage in other events with other students outside of the game setting. These are going to be your marquee events on campus like Regatta, Weeks of Welcome, and other social outings during the fall semesters. These individuals are also going to target your most influenced group of students, which is going to be your freshmen. These are the students that are more likely to join new student clubs and new student organizations. And once you've established your new leaders and you've established your new members of your student section, you're going to want to host smaller events such as movie nights, hangouts, cornhole tournaments, ice cream socials, or any type of event of that sort, just to help establish these connections and engage with one another to help form these new bonds between students. Number 3 is going to be social media activity. Currently, the IUPUI Jack Pound, which if you're not aware, that is our student section name currently, has the most active, consistently posting on Twitter, and it has a total of 219 followers, and that's all the eyes that are going to be seeing those posts. And they really don't post consistently on any other platform. What the new student leaders need to do is to create FOMO, which is the fear of missing out, by posting polls, surveys, and other engaging content and creative new topics rather than just your traditional game day graphics. Students like seeing themselves on social media. This is what creates buzz and gets people talking about certain events. Number 4 is going to be your in-game coordination. This is going to be the most vital step outside of our former student leaders. The student leaders need to be the star of the show. This is the coordination between your cheerleaders and your student section leaders to create a strong and powerful unison chant. This is what keeps students coming and gets students to stay. chants that are simple but yet effective will work the best. So this is going to be stuff like defense, let's go Jags. And you can even implement something creative, like Florida has their Gator Chomp. Well, here, we can have the Jaguar Claw. In number 5, we want a name. Sorry, no, we don't want a name. We want a brand. A name is just a name if there's nothing behind it. With the new IUI name change, this leaves us an opportunity to rebrand a student section, and this also leaves an opportunity to have more student engagement as well. This is going to allow students to create a new name for the new brand. This also allows students something that they can take pride in, something that they can have ownership of. Examples of popular student sections that were named by students in the past were the Surge at UC Santa Barbara, the Grateful Red at Wisconsin, the Barnyard at Minnesota, and then the Nest at Louisville. So what I want you all to take out of this is that a student section is more than just a group or a block of individuals out just cheering on their team. It's a community of students that want to engage and build connections with one another over a shared love of their student experience.
So now we have reimagined branding. Through this, we're trying to answer the questions of how might we make IUI Indy's hometown team, and how might we ignite spirit and pride into IUI. The first of this is going to be merchandise and co-branding. When it comes to merchandise, we should partner with Adidas or even a local company here in Indianapolis called Home Field Apparel to create sort of a more visually appealing line of merchandise. And then as for co-branding, we should partner with the professional sports teams in the area. As you can see this season, the Pacers did a IUPUI-themed hat night. Another example of this could be like an IUI Jaguar-themed exhibit at the Indianapolis Zoo. Now, visibility and awareness. When it comes to in the city, we should place signage along the JW Marriott or the gerbil tubes downtown, paw prints around the sports legends experience at the Indianapolis Children's Museum, a Jaguar exhibit at the Indianapolis Zoo, a Jaguar statue in the city, and even dyeing the canal red for special IUI-themed events. Now on campus, we could have paw prints leading to the arena, move the Jaguar statue from where it is now over to the arena where we play, TV, signage, and an arena jumbotron to alert students on like upcoming games or even keep them up to date on current scores, more mascot visibility, natatorium away game watch parties, and then more signage on the tubes on campus.
To piggyback off of visibility and awareness, we believe we can increase both of these with the introduction of an IUI athletics mobile app. When looking at college athletics apps, we decided on a list of 10 features we think would be ideal for our app. These include a schedule to show who's playing, when they're playing, where they're playing, rewards offering points for students if they attend games that can be redeemed for prizes that include merchandise, electronics, or concession vouchers, news, compiling all news articles and social media regarding the athletics department into one place, tickets, having a centralized location to purchase tickets. This would mostly be for an outside audience considering that IUPUI students get in for free. Merchandise, having a merchandise store integrated into an app where they can purchase general school or athletics merchandise. Rosters, compiling all sports rosters into one place with their general statistics and information. Promotion/game day offers. This could be through the school offering $10 concession vouchers for the first 100 students, or we can work with local restaurants to provide discounts at their restaurants. A light show. This would involve all students and fans downloading the app, and before the game, their phones would sync up and start flashing lights to create a cool pregame experience. Podcasts, having visual and audio podcasts available in one place on the app, and a map that shows every athletic facility and can be used to find your way around IUPUI's campus.
So we compared 3 app developers, which include Sidearm Sports, From Now On, and WMT, using the criteria listed before. And through doing that, we found that the app developers are in 3 different levels, with Sidearm Sports being the lowest level, consisting of the most basic features. From Now On being in the middle tier, consisting of most of the features except the high-level features like a light show, podcast, and a map. And WMT consisted of all 10 criteria that we thought of. But considering where IUPUI's athletics currently stands, we decided to go with the middle tier app and not shoot for the highest level of app development that we looked at.
So there's a lot of reasons that we went with From Now On. First being the reputation. They're in charge of the Women's March Madness app, the Men's Final Four app, along with the Little League World Series app. Starting at the look at the app, on the homepage, it's fully customizable and you can put whatever you'd like on it. Moving over to the schedule, the cool thing about this is that everything's integrated into the app. This isn't something that you have to do manually. It'll just all be put in on its own. On the points page, Aaron talked about it a little bit, but it uses geofencing to know when the students are attending these games, and it gives them points when they do go. It can be a variety of prizes. We were thinking apparel, gift cards to nearby restaurants, but that's totally up to the athletic department. The cool thing about that, too, is they can rank it in groups, so you could do clubs, Greek life, things like that to get it involved. Over on the news side, you've got all of your Twitter feeds, everything like that. And the last things that we like about From Now On is that they have a success coach to make sure that the app's going well, working with you the whole time. They also have an ambassador when it first starts to help you get the word out and make sure students download the app.
Through the app, we can tell our athletic story by using storytelling through social media. What I mean by that is access one-way communication is your post content. So you're talking about new recruitment videos. You're getting excited for the new recruits that we get to see on campus. And you're saying like their major, their hometown, like even what their favorite food is. Student-led podcast, what I mean by that is a weekly led podcast by students. It's a weekly based, but every week is a different person from each sport organization. So it could be one week could be swimming, the next week it could be soccer. Did not mean to do that. Mic'd up during practice or warm up, giving us a behind the scenes feel of like how they play together, how they interact. The day in the life of an IUI athlete. A lot of people recently love to see what a Division I athlete do in their free time or how their day is. So I think implementing that and telling our story, I feel like would give us more of a feeling of like we are a part of them. And athlete-specific QR codes could be like during the games, you can like scan the QR code and see their stats throughout their years. Access two-way communication is like live content. So I'm talking like YouTube/Instagram lives, your athlete social media takeover. For example, you have your picture over here to the right. Senior is getting promoted because she is taking over the Instagram athletics page this Saturday. And then Q&A with athletes. And then we get into student engagement. So student leaders involvement. What I mean by that is like social media platforms should be led by like students. So you get a feel of like they are a part of it. Like journalism students should be like the reason like they're getting more people out to the games. With that, student athletes socials to promote games. Texas does a good job with these two athletes getting more interactions with social media because they're telling their story by being a part of their athletics program. And then club promotions like Sports Management Club could promote the games through their newsletters to get more people out. Traditions, building new ones, ringing the bell tower after the Jags win and light up the arena pregame could be integrated through the app. Purdue does a great job of pregame light up shows to make you feel like you're involved and make you feel like you're a part of like the lineups. While building traditions through storytelling, we get into a Horizon League Rivalry Week. Rivalry Week could be integrated through in-state rivalries. So, like for example, Purdue v. Fort Wayne v. IUI. And a perfect way to make that rival is to create a traveling trophy. The trophy would be a trophy back and forth between the 5 same teams that both men and women have between the 2 schools. So those sports are soccer, basketball, golf, cross country, and track and field. So kind of a quick example of how the trophy would work is, let's say Purdue comes here to play us. Let's say we play the men's soccer team. Let's say the men's team loses to Purdue. The Purdue takes the trophy away from us, and then let's say the women's team go play Purdue like the next day or the day after. They then win the trophy back. So it's a continuous back and forth kind of tradition building of all those sports, and it's kind of the sports that lead into the fall, the winter, and then in the spring. So it's all year round. So you bring in more competitiveness, you're bringing in more feeling, oh, we got to win the trophy back. We got to like win bragging rights. And a lot of campuses see campus unity, like college rivalries bring in the most campus unity. You see success with IU Purdue, you see success with North Carolina Duke, and you see success with Michigan via Ohio State. With this, we feel IUI needs to accomplish this to become more of a notable collegiate university in a big name state.
All right. So to kind of wrap things up today, this is our framework that we use to establish our ideas and tactics that we presented here today. I'm going to go over the kind of like the legend over here. Anything in red that you see, sorry, let me back up before I get into that. We focused in the at, near, and away spaces on campus, as well as the preseason, non-game day, pregame, in-game, and post-game times within a student's schedule. So that means anything up here in red has to do with our arena. Anything in blue is stuff with the app. Yellow being storytelling, that's through social media. Black is visibility, that's like your branding, your co-branding, your signages. Green is your student engagements, like with your student section and in-game promotions. And then anything in italics is stuff that just didn't quite make the cut here today. So what we want to do is create a new student experience, an experience that is engaging, exciting, and prideful. An experience where students are eager to show out and support their team. So with that, I say thank you and go Jags.